Jurassic World Rebirth, it passed $750 million. And the only reason why I'm dropping this video is because I was thinking about how everybody seems to be a little shocked that it passed $750 million. How in the world would it not pass $750 million? It's a dinosaur movie. I went in and watched this movie. When I went and watched this movie, I went in and watched this movie thinking that I just wanted to see dinosaurs. Is this the best one? No. But is this the worst one? No. Uh, I like the way they wrote. I really don't think this movie was that bad, to tell you the truth. And a lot of people said that the movie sucked. And I had to sit back and think about it. So I had to, you know, how you watch a movie and you try to rewind, you try to rewind, you try to rewind. I admit there were some things in there that was like, you had the family over here that was lost in the water at sea. And then, they broke stories up with, with the dad and his daughter and their boyfriend and the little girl. And um, I don't know. I don't know how much that bothered me or not, but I can see why that would bother people. But I'm just trying to figure out how that does not surprise you. Is this going to make $1 billion? No. But I think people just really wanted to go see dinosaurs. And I wanted to go see a dinosaur movie. And when we went because there's this one son I just met a couple years ago. I didn't know he existed. We wanted to hang out. I don't get to see him that much, and we just want to see each other and have dinner. And so I had a couple friends go with me, and the guy I went with, my buddy, he said, man, I really ain't kind of like I just want to see some dinosaurs. That's what he said. He said, man, I just want to see some dinosaurs. And then the girl that went with us, she works at the shop with us. She just went with us just to hang out with us, and she didn't care either way. Now my son, he was like his attitude was like, I just want to go see a movie with you guys. I'm not really all that hyped up for it, but I'll go watch it with you guys because he just that's just what he said. But I just don't know how this movie is supposed to be so shockingly that it's not going to make money. There's so many people out there. I think the thing with dinosaurs is we always been fascinated, as we all been kids when we grew up, that we knew that the Earth at one time had a bunch of people. We knew that the Earth had. I think everybody that's been born knows that the Earth had dinosaurs roaming the Earth. And our imagination just wonders what it would have been like back there to see all them big dinosaurs. Because a lot of us often wonder how big those dinosaurs really were. Were the T Rex as big as they were? Was the Velociraptors? They were deadly. When you see all the fossils that they dig up, and then when you see them put them together, it's like, man, them some big creatures. How big was snakes back then? Reason why I'm sharing this is because sometimes when I think about Jurassic Park movies, thank God Steven Spielberg made the first one. There's nothing like the first one. But I often wondered about, I still say there's so many stories you can tell. Like you can have, big snakes that you can have big snakes that they found that was big snakes back then. Uh, there's all kind of creatures that's been discovered that you could put in another movie. As long as the Jurassic Park movies are going to continue to profit, the more it's going to be made. Now, I've heard so many people say that this movie sucked, and I'm not saying that this movie is great. I ordered it. It's in my collection. I got all the Jurassic movies. Some are good and some are not. But I just want to see what a dinosaur. In this movie, I like where they was at the facility and they had these different type of creatures chasing them. The Velociraptors had a small role. They were only in it for like, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes, and they were out. And you had uh you had like, I don't know, like this mutant dinosaur that, you know, a lot of people was upset because they said that they wanted to see what that thing really looked like. But I thought they did pretty good with the way they shot it, because I was trying to figure out what it looked like. And, you know, especially at the very end when he came out and it was kind of dark and they had the helicopter and, it made the helicopter crash, and then they were trying to get away, and Mahershala Ali, uh, had all the stuff that he had done with what he had done with him. He looked like he was about to get killed, and then they rescued him at the end. But other than that, I really didn't. And I thought I liked the pterodactyls. I thought they were all right. I was talking to a guy at work. He's an engineer. And he was asking me about a movie. And I told him. He said, hey, because he asked about Death of the Unicorn. It's on HBO Max. I said, oh, you haven't seen it yet? And this is what I told him. I said, man, if you go in there just thinking that you're going to watch a movie, instead of going there thinking, oh, this has got to be Oscar worthy and it's got to be this and it has to be top. A lot of people want to go see a movie. They want to be entertained. I'm just not, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people out there, they're so into being a critic anymore. I just feel like you're not enjoying movies anymore like you once did. I'm not saying that everybody's that way, but I just feel like everybody's trying to be this critic. Even though I have this YouTube channel, I like a lot of movies that suck. But it's because when I was a little boy, I used to love watch TV when I had downtime. You go to school and you do your homework, and then mom cooked dinner, and I crossed my little legs and watched TV. And TV wasn't like it is today. But I don't know, you guys. I just don't like the way things are anymore when it comes to people watching movies. But everybody's entitled to their opinion, don't get me wrong. But I don't know what you're looking for. But anyway, that engineer asked me about Death and the Unicorn. And I told him today, I said, if you're going in there looking for a top-notch and you want it to be, this like super, like over the top, and it has to be Oscar worthy. He goes, no, I'm not looking for that at all. I said, well, then you enjoy it. I said, when I watched Death and the Unicorn, I knew exactly what I was going to. And I said, it's just about a unicorn. It gets hit by a car, and they wrapped the story around it. That was it. But yeah, you got people that constantly watch these movies and they just want to nitpick. Am I saying that you're not allowed to not like movies? That's not what I'm saying. But golly, man, I just feel like people in these damn cameras, man, and YouTube, man, and all that kind of stuff, man, I just think you're just not enjoying things like you once did. I could be wrong, though. But anyway, I don't know how that's a surprise that they made $750 million. And I knew this movie wasn't going to make $1 billion. But it might be close to 800 before it's done. I just wanted to see dinosaurs. If they come out with another one, I want to see dinosaurs. And you want to know the kicker? This guy that made this dinosaur movie, the guy that produced it, that they asked to make this Rebirth, he did this with he made this movie like under budget. It didn't cost that much. It wasn't like a $250 million movie. I don't know what the budget was for it, but he's made his money back. And he had a certain length of time to get this movie out, and he got it out. And it crossed $750 million. So maybe it'll make it to 800 million, but that's pretty daggone good for a Jurassic Rebirth that didn't cost that much money, because the budget for it wasn't that high. So he did good as far as I'm concerned. Here's another thing, you guys. Y'all folks out there, all of us, we got to get that $1 billion out of our souls, man. God, everything cannot make $1 billion anymore. Marvel is struggling right now. I mean, they are struggling. Everybody's expecting Marvel to make $1 billion. Like, for instance, Marvel I didn't go to see the movie because I don't trust Marvel. I don't know what, I can't tell if I just don't trust them. So, It used to be when you want to go see a movie, you just go see it because it was Marvel. But these last few years, man, even my friend, he'll ask me, I go, man, I don't know if I want to see it or not, man, because you know it might be some stuff in it we don't care for. He goes, yeah, he said, and we don't go. And then when we watch it later on, we end up liking it. Take Thunderbolts. I really enjoyed Thunderbolts. I think I'm going to enjoy Fantastic Four when it comes out. I think Marvel is turning the ship around. But what Marvel is, if they were smart, they should just get together and say, hey, man, we screwed up. We are not going to be able to get back to what we once was. But let's try our best to win back the people that we turned off. And let's make these movies and put out like Thunderbolts was average. Thunderbolts was pretty good. So word of mouth, word of mouth made me buy it, and I enjoyed it. Word of mouth for Fantastic Four, I'm gonna watch it on digital when it comes out. When it gets out of the theater. So what I'm saying is that you just can't. You just all these $1 billion things gotta stop. That's all. And I just, I never thought that Jurassic World Rebirth was going to make $1 billion, you guys. I never did. I thought it was just going to do okay. Because I'm telling you, man, a lot of people was like me and my friend Chuck. They actually said, man, I just want to see some dinosaurs. I just want to see some dinosaurs. Was it like Oscar worthy and 5 stars and all that kind of stuff? No, man, come on. No. But it was a decent movie, man. I thought they did good for what they worked with. I thought they did good for what they worked with, and to throw a movie together that quick, and when the dinosaurs was on screen, it was pretty entertaining. My best part of that dinosaur is when the T-Rex was sitting there knocked out. He was chilling, sleep. When he was sleeping and they was trying to get that boat, I thought that was so slick, man. That T-Rex was sleeping. Then when he woke up, and that scene where they was in that boat and it showed Jurassic, that T-Rex looking at him, and it was chasing him in that water, that was a good scene. And then also the scene, like I told you guys before, when they was, at the facility and these other things was chasing them instead of the Velociraptors. And I also will say this. I thought it was a breath of fresh air that the Velociraptors took a back seat because they're always in all the movies. Was they in Dominion that much? Yeah, they were in Dominion too. Yeah. But I just think they put too much on the Velociraptors. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I like how they did the other. I think they did good with all the other ones. Give them a little bit more time to shine. I also thought that the pterodactyls, when they was in the nest trying to get the egg and all that, and the pterodactyls, the big birds that fly, the big gigantic birds. When I was watching that, later on after I watched it, and the following week I heard people say you could tell that they had some gigantic head just reaching in, like trying to bite. I don't think it was that way. I really don't. I don't know why people go to movies and just look at movies that way. I just feel like you're not enjoying things anymore. I just think that, I don't know if it's YouTube have too much of an influence on people, or you just feel like you got to go and look at stuff. I understand if the movie is really, really bad and you be like, this movie's terrible, man, and you could see all the flaws, but I didn't. I wanted to see dinosaurs. I got to see dinosaurs. The above average movie. I don't think it's near as bad as most people say it is. I really don't. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know why you did not think, people are so shocked that movie made $750 million. I knew it would make bank. Dinosaurs movies sell. They just do. Like I said, there's people way younger than me. They all know that at one time dinosaurs roamed the earth. So we're just fascinated by dinosaurs, and we can't see dinosaurs now because they don't exist. But we can see them on the screen with all the technology and the way special effects are and the way they can make these things look so real. It's just it's just neat when they wrap a story around dinosaurs and stuff. And I don't think that story was all that bad, to tell you the truth. I think it stood out on its own, and I think that's what Rebirth was trying to do, is just be on its own. And they took a chance. They really did. They took a chance. And I have to say, I'm glad that they took a chance instead of trying to just stick to the same formula. They took a chance. And the chance they took, well, apparently nobody likes the movie because everybody says it sucks. But to me, I think by them taking the chance, the way they took a chance, I like that. They did something totally different. They tried to write a different story. They tried to come up with something totally different. And it worked for me. It worked for me. Because, why? It's because I wanted to see dinosaurs. I wanted to see dinosaurs on the big screen. And you got those IMAX theaters that are just freaking IMAX and the Dolby. There's the IMAX. IMAX is the top one. Then you got the Dolby Atmos or something like that. There's one called Dolby something. But the IMAX is the one. You watch remake, Jurassic Park Rebirth and IMAX, you're going to be thoroughly entertained. So anyway, that's all I got, you guys. I just wanted to share that. I just don't know how it's not that hard. People are still, to this day, fascinated with dinosaurs. It's just that simple. I'm even if they come out with a dinosaur movie 2 years from now, if I'm still around, I will go see that movie if it's a good story. Because I just like to see dinosaurs. I like to see a gigantic, maybe another snake, some kind of big snake in one this next time, Throw in some different creatures that existed on the planet. That's what makes these dinosaurs movies so good. Because when you get on YouTube sometimes and they got all these documentaries of, animals that used to roam the earth and how they died out. I seen that there was some gigantic snakes out. There was some gigantic sharks. There was some gigantic creatures in the ocean. There's still so many dinosaurs that could be introduced to the Jurassic Park franchise. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. That's why we are fascinated by dinosaurs, because we know that there's a whole crap ton of them out there that we probably ain't even seen yet. So anyway, that's all I got. We'll catch you next video. God bless. And I'm not surprised it's $750 million.